Here are 10 significant discoveries that many scholars and believers consider supportive of the Bible's historical accuracy. 1. The Dead Sea Scrolls. Discovered between 1947 and 1956 in the Qumran caves near the Dead Sea, these ancient manuscripts include texts from the Hebrew Bible and other writings. The scrolls date back to the 3rd century BCE to the 1st century CE and have provided valuable insights into the text of the Old Testament, showing that it has been accurately preserved over millennia. 2. The Tel Dan Stele. This stele, discovered in northern Israel in 1993, contains an Aramaic inscription that refers to the House of David. It is one of the earliest references to King David outside the Bible, providing evidence of his historical existence. 3. The Moabite Stone. The Moabites were said to be descended from Abraham's nephew Lot. They were in conflict with the Israelites from the 13th century and were known as a deeply pagan nation whose demonic deities have been linked to modern-day elites and Satanism. Although some of them did worship Yeshua, the Hebrew god, poor keeping of doctrine led to many succumbing to idolatry and performing human offerings as sacrifice. One of their kings infamously sacrificed his own children in front of his castle steps in the hopes of securing a victory in battle against the ever-present Israelites. Discovered in 1868 in Dibon, Jordan, the Mesha Stele records the victories of King Mesha of Moab over Israel. It mentions the Israelite king Omri and provides corroborative evidence for the events described in 2 Kings 3. 4. The Cyrus Cylinder. Found in Babylon in 1879, this clay cylinder contains an account of King Cyrus of Persia's conquest of Babylon and his subsequent policy of repatriation of exiled peoples, including the Jews. This aligns with the biblical account in the book of Ezra. 5. The Pool of Bethesda. In the book of John, the baths became infamous for being one of the many locations Jesus performed a miracle and healed a paralytic. From then on, the baths were said to live up to their name, which translates to House of Mercy. In modern times, archaeologists discovered and have identified its 5 porticos. Its architecture is accurately relayed in the biblical description. 6. The Pilate Stone. Pontius Pilate, a renowned Roman prefect and governor of Judea, 2637 CE, is better known in Christian memory as the man who sanctioned the crucifixion of Jesus. When the enraged religious leaders in Judea threatened to destroy the fragile peace imposed by Rome, Pilate eventually caved to pressure from the Jews to crucify Jesus. The Bible notes he originally thought they wanted Jesus dead because he professed to be king of the Jews. When he later found out it was because Jesus had said he was the Son of God, he became afraid. He had his men scribe on Jesus' cross king of the Jews. When Jewish religious leaders argued he remove it, he left the inscription on anyway. Discovered in 1961 in Caesarea Maritima, the Pilate limestone block bears an inscription mentioning Pontius Pilate. 7. The House of Peter in Capernaum. Archaeological excavations in Capernaum have identified a 1st century house believed to be the home of the Apostle Peter. This site has yielded numerous Christian inscriptions and artifacts. 8. The City of Jericho. Jericho was an ancient city famous for its high walls and spiritual relevance. It is one of the places Jesus made a point to visit on his trips, and he was recorded as healing people of ailments, such as blindness, by the city walls. Excavations at the ancient city of Jericho have revealed evidence of a city that was destroyed and rebuilt multiple times. While there is debate over the exact timeline, findings such as collapsed walls align with the biblical account of Jericho's conquest by the Israelites. 9. The Hittite ruins. The Hittites were repeatedly mentioned in the Old Testament and were known adversaries of the Israelites. The Bible says they were descended from Ham and Canaan and were said to be an ancient group of Indo-Europeans who moved toward modern-day Turkey to later form the Hattusa Empire. Other than their mention in the Tanakh and Bible, the civilization would have been completely lost to history as there was no other mention of their existence. French scholar Charles Texier would go on to find the first Hittite ruins in 1834. Tablets and inscriptions around the ruins suggest they pioneered and manufactured the use of iron and traded with the ancient Egyptians and other wealthy cities on the Mediterranean coast until their destruction. 10. The Ebla Tablets. The tablets provide a wealth of information on Syria and Canaan in the early Bronze Age and include the first known references to the Canaanites, Ugarit, and Lebanon, which were later supported by the Tanakh and Bible. The contents of the tablets reveal that Ebla was a major trade center and possible the First World Empire. Discovered in the 1970s in Ebla, Syria, these tablets date back to the 3rd millennium BC, or otherwise known as the Bronze Age, and contain references to cities and names found in the Bible. They are historical scrolls that support and provide further context for the world in which the biblical patriarchs lived. While this one isn't on our list because there is no physical record to confirm the existence of them, it's worth an honorable mention. Many people don't know that prominent scientists, historians, and scholars, including those with no religious affiliation, affirm the historical existence of Jesus based on the convergence of multiple lines of evidence. In the case of Jesus, too many differing ancient cultures recorded his life and death for it to be untrue that he ever existed. These discoveries, among others, have contributed to the understanding and validation of the historical contexts described in the Bible. While not all details can be proven archaeologically, these findings help bridge the gap between biblical narratives and historical evidence. You've been listening to Verse to Flicks.